This is Anthony Cook. I'll be talking about Unit 6 Texas cattle producers versus Winfrey. So the court case was about the Texas cattle producers having a negative demand from Oprah Winfrey reporting falsified information about mad cow disease being infiltrated into the United States. At the time, mad cow disease was in Britain, and Oprah Winfrey was uh, doing something on her Dangerous Food network or something like that, and um, the producers that had shot the film had accidentally taken out of context what the interview, the who she was interviewing. The guy said that mad cow disease would not infiltrate the United States, that the USDA and the government had a handle on it. Well, the producers accidentally took that out, and it negatively affected cattle demand. Um, Demand for live cattle, in which prices plummeted, and so this fell into the Disparagement of Perishable Food Products Act, in which the this means that if there's falsified information about any type of agricultural commodity and it brings about negative demand of that product and people are affected negatively, then that person uh, bringing about that information can be legally held accountable. So in this situation, Oprah and her network were held accountable for falsifying information about the Texas cattle industry, in which created a negative demand in the market, in which their cattle became unmarketable and market perishable. And so this court case actually went to the district court, in which they asked the question, well, what's an agricultural commodity? Does this really fall into whether it was falsified information or not? Was it intentional? Was it not intentional? Whatever the case may be, they decided that that live cattle were not a non-perishable marketable good, that they could be marketed somewhere else, and that didn't fall into the law, even though it was falsified information. It just didn't fall into law because it didn't wasn't to them, it was not classified as an agricultural commodity. To them, they classified an agricultural commodity as something like a banana or fruit that is very highly perishable, and not something that's alive. Well, this case went to the appellate court of the United States. The appellate court decided, okay, well, what are we trying to interpret here? One, yes, there's falsified information that was being held. What's the evidence? Well, the fact that the producers edited something out they shouldn't have, and that was reasonably noticed. That cattle, and because of that, cattle prices plummeted, and then it had a negative demand on the market for live cattle prices and the owners of these cows. So what they decided was what does agricultural commodity, what does that mean in terms of, an everyday word? Well, what they got from it was that anything that is agricultural based or comes from an aggregate place, that it is considered to be perishable. So live cattle is considered to be perishable, which is how they overruled the district court and ruled and deferred against them, because the cattle did become unmarketable and perishable even though they were still alive, because they lost so much value and it affected agricultural producers. And so in the end, the act stood up and the cattle producers won their case. It didn't say what was settled on, what had happened, just the fact that the person that made the falsified information was held accountable. How does this apply to agribusiness and agribusiness management? Well, it applies to agribusiness in the fact that it amplifies the fact that agricultural commodities are very sensitive things to weather, prices, and even when people are talking about it, are talking about something that they don't know about. They don't know what they're talking about in you know, in the real world, and so that information that they're using needs to be circumstantial. It needs to be backed up by actual evidence within the United States, and so um, so to me, that's how it applies to agribusiness. And how it does it apply to management? Well, it applies to management in the fact that I have to realize that I'm taking on risk. And what are the decisions that I would make if this happened to me? Well, I would certainly, as soon as I would found out, I would have placed a hedge in the futures market to diversify my risk against price risk because of the negative information causing a negative demand in the for live cattle, and then possibly getting together with other producers in the area and getting it together with a cooperative to find ways to put these cattle somewhere else that we can make our money upon. So in the end, this is my conclusion to everything, and I hope this video was helpful and that I related best to my information in my paper. Thank you so much.